Charlotte North is no stranger to big goals.
Here's Charlotte North, does it again!
The two-time National Women's Lacrosse Player of the Year and national champion turned pro and 2028 Olympic hopeful has a new goal in mind, taking on the NCAA.
That is unfair representation of the value that these female athletes have brought to universities around the country.
North is a plaintiff in one of two federal lawsuits challenging part of the historic House versus NCAA settlement, which for the first time ever allows for direct payments from colleges to athletes for the use of their name, image, and likeness. The idea? To let players earn cash for merch, video games, endorsements, and more, resulting in an estimated $20 million in revenue sharing each year moving forward. But it also includes $2.8 billion in back pay for roughly 400,000 former athletes. North says it's that second bucket that's out of bounds because while it's up to the schools, underestimates for how revenue will be divvied up for current athletes this coming school year, men's sports get the four largest pieces of the pie, with football and basketball getting more than 90% combined. The top listed women's sport, basketball, which in fifth place gets 1.1%. Payouts for former athletes are expected to mirror these amounts.
It is a deep violation of Title IX.
Title IX is the federal law barring sex-based discrimination on college campuses. North says to get the back paycheck, she had to waive her rights under that law. Another plaintiff, Lexi Drum, wasn't impressed with the amount she was expected to get.
I think it was around $400. Was my estimate.
Drum doesn't deny certain sports rake in more money, but she argues Title IX is clear.
I think that male athletes and female athletes did the same thing. They woke up for the same workouts, attended the same games, attended the same classes. The only thing different was the amount of fans at their game.
In a statement to NBC News, the NCAA called the settlement a massive win for student athletes, saying the injunction set by the court and agreed to by the NCAA, defendant conferences, and student-athlete plaintiffs provide significant stability to college sports and enable schools to provide direct financial benefits to student-athletes, totaling nearly 50% of athletics department revenue. North says it's about leaving college sports better for those who come next.
I feel passionately that this needs to be fixed.
And for Drum, who plans to work as a lawyer focusing on Title IX discrimination, it's about leveling the playing field long term.
For so long as a female athlete, you're told, just be happy that you're here. Just be happy that you're playing. And you just settle for the scraps. Now, this is an opportunity where we see that we deserve more, and that push for more, gives us a bigger seat at the table.
A bigger seat, they hope, comes with bigger pay.
Maggie Vespa is joining us now. Maggie, it's super interesting. Talk through this sort of specific formula that these plaintiffs want. They're not saying, like, oh, let's split it 50-50, right?
No, they're not. They have a specific formula, and really specifically, they're focusing on two categories of funding kind of within the broader NIL bucket because it's broken down in categories, and they call those categories the broadcast compensation and the athlete service compensation. And what you have to know about that is that basically it's money the schools pay directly. It's not like a third-party deal, like a video game or something. And they want it paid out based on the ratio of men to women in the larger athlete pool any given year. So figure next year you have say 60% men. They want the men to get 60% of those funding buckets. The 40% of women will get the 40%. That's their pitch. However this plays out, Hallie, it's worth noting the judge who oversaw this case and oversaw the kind of formulation of this settlement heard Title IX related arguments as this was being sort of cobbled together and decided to still let the settlement come together as is, saying that this at its heart is an antitrust case, saying the NCAA kind of had a monopoly, a chokehold on the industry of college athletes and was violating antitrust laws. So that being said, she let it come together, but left the door open to future Title IX settlements or challenges, which is effectively what we're seeing play out now. Hallie.
Maggie Vespa, fascinating. Thank you very much for staying on top of this one for us. Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.